about you is that you have ambition to be great. My job is to coach you to get all that greatness out of you.
What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We are back here for another one. I first want to start off by apologizing. I missed yesterday, and that's the first. Wow, that's since I started this channel. That's the first training camp day I've never reported. And that's because I had plans with the wife, and we were out till pretty late. So, but I will. I've got exclusive footage from yesterday, so I will still show you guys the video highlights from yesterday, including my exclusive footage. And I'll just talk about it quickly, opening here, I guess, obviously, that a dart to Jalen Waddle yesterday, for that 65-yard touchdown, right? That might've been to his best throw at camp. That was obviously the big highlight, hit Tyreek for a 25-yard pickup, ripped one to Waddle and Tyreek for red zone touchdowns, and Azukuma had a nice long touchdown catch from Skylar Thompson, and also obviously the nets. So I got some different angles no one's seen of the nets, so we'll take a look at that. Jalen Phillips continued to impress. Benogany had that controversial interception. Trill Williams back on the map again, had a good day yesterday. So Ogba, Seiler, Wilkins, they continue to do their thing, you know what I mean? And obviously Wilkins rocked the orange jersey. Yesterday it seemed like a very good day, a much more, it was a much more even day than the days prior to that, where the defense seemed to have been winning the majority of the reps, right? After Tua and the offense looked phenomenal when the pads came on, the defense kind of evened things out, and they should be, because it's an elite defense. And then yesterday, the offense, came roaring back and evened things out a little bit more on their side. And then today was another good day, and we'll get into today. Tua's had a really good weekend. Let's call it what it is. He's had a couple off days, right? We've shown you that. You guys have seen the highlights here where he's missed throws that he should have hit in 11-11s and some one-on-one throws. He's had, 2 days where he was a little off. They were, I call them off odd days because they were odd. I had people telling me, oh, he's limping. People, there's just a lot of stuff going on. And it just, he looked phenomenal up until that point, and then he just had those 2 little odd off days, and then it looks like he picked it back up. He can't be perfect, and man, I still haven't wavered. I expect top 12 from Tua Tagovailoa this year. Good Saturday session, another strong Sunday session. As far as everything else regarding the team besides the quarterbacks. And Teddy's come on stronger too, right? Teddy, who was really slow, has come on a lot stronger. And you're seeing people who are pessimistic being a little bit optimistic, in the media and throughout Dolphin land right now. Also, with the highlights I'm going to show today, I want to shout out to the homie Bobby Schaus Jr. He helped, and bro, it's people piling on the homie King of Finland on Twitter a little bit just because he threw up a hilarious meme of Tua. He's up, man. King of Finland does a lot of good things for the community on Twitter. So, let's relax a little bit. You know what I'm saying? People need to chill a little bit. We'll get into the specifics, but the Dolphins, I don't even know if I can call it attempted to answer our prayers. I can't say that. That's when you see who the people are, you're going to be like, I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, there's this site, there's this Twitter. I don't know how recognizable they are. But they're called MF. They're called M Football, and they even shut it up before when they said this. And they quoted. They said, quote from a league front office exec: Tua Tagovailoa has looked the best he's ever looked in Dolphins uniform so far in camp. A lot of it's due to greatly improved arm strength and mechanics. And then they retweeted that with perform and tag perform in it. Hey, we know there's more velocity on the football. We know there's more zip to his football. We know the footwork looks better. That's cool. Again, with all of this stuff, I'm taking my notes and I'm putting stock in it when we get some live action. And then the other thing that the front office exec added to that was the Dolphins believe that Tua Tagovailoa will be a Pro Bowl quarterback this season and will lead the team deep into the postseason. And they tagged performing this. I saw it earlier today. You know, and I know TD has said that the person that he talked to connected to the team said the team believes in Tua. You know, they believe they can win with Tua. I'm telling you right now, listen, I kept telling everyone. See, everyone thinks Matt Ryan, you know, just because he's drafted high, big, strong arm. Anyone actually watch Matt Ryan out here? Matt Ryan has a pop gun arm, but he has great ball placement, great accuracy, great touch, right? He doesn't have a strong arm at all. That's why I kept telling people, stop looking at Jimmy G. Stop. Go look at Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is what they want to do with Tua in this offense. I'm not saying Tua's going to win an MVP this year, but what I'm saying is when you talk about a ceiling in an offense or ability to thrive, he's more Matt Ryan in that Atlanta offense than he is Jimmy G in San Francisco. People need to start realizing this. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, I've been saying this. Shout out to Mike. He said, fake fans, go cry. Let's go. Fins fam, check your pulse. I agree. Exactly. And EM Baller says it right. You know, Tua's more athletic than Jimmy G and Matt Ryan. Go ahead and combine them, and he's still more athletic. Right? He has way more. I mean, guys, let's sit back and relax. Everyone wants to talk about recency bias, I guess. Bro, this offense and what it did for a guy like Jake Plummer. And I don't know if a lot of you are old enough to remember who Jake Plummer is, because I know we got a lot of, 20 to, mid-20 cats in the, in our fan base that watch this channel. So I know like those guys who are like 18 to 25, some of y'all might not remember Jake Plummer, okay, because you were young. Man, trust me when I say, if this offense in Denver can do what it did with Jake Plummer, buddy, if Tua just gets more consistent at the things we've harped on, reading all three levels more consistently, processing the defense on all three levels more consistently is what I mean by reading all three levels, throwing to the intermediate and especially the intermediate and the deep portion more consistently, especially the middle of the intermediate level because of this offense and what it's going to dictate. And his pre-snap reads, if he cleans this stuff up, I might be selling him short by saying top 12. I really might be, but he needs to clean the stuff up. And we've seen flashes in practice of him making stuff we want to see, that we were looking for. We've seen it. But like I've said, and I will remain to say, with practice, especially against our own team, take notes. I'm not sitting here putting too much stock in this or too little stock in that. I'm very even keel. Sure, certain plays might hype me up and, get me checking my pulse in my pants. But that's just what it is. I live in the moment, and then after the moment is you don't hear reason harping on things and using things in arguments. And, you've never heard me use plays in practice in an argument or a debate or really to make points right yet. Sure, I'll make a point in the moment, but I won't say, oh, he's totally better at this because I've seen this in practice. No, I've been saying, let's wait till the joint practices in the preseason games. And in the joint practices in the preseason, we will start. I've said this from day one. We'll start putting stock into that kind of stuff. If we see, listen, this is what I mean by it. I'm going to really tell you guys what I meant by saying that the whole time. If there is something in practice that you've either really liked or that's really concerned you, and again, it's just practice, okay? You've taken a note of it mentally, or sure, I'm so sure some of you have physically, whether in your phone or pen and paper, old school. Now, you've taken a note of it. If those things that either worry you or excite you or hype you or underhype you or overwhelm you or underwhelm you, whatever your roller coaster of emotions may be, if those things start translating, whether good or bad, translate to the joint practices and beat writers for the other team are reporting it, or you're seeing it for yourself with your eyes in preseason or at the beginning of the season, I that's when you start putting stock into things. That's when you've now identified a potential pattern or a trend, whatever you want to call it. That is what practice against our own guys. Listen, there's so many variables against our own guys. Okay. Sure, the defense doesn't know what's coming, but they do have an idea of what you do offensively better than anyone. Okay. Number two, they're not out there to take each other's heads off. You think Javon Holland wants to be the guy that takes Raheem Mostert out for the season? Because that hurts his team. So but when you're going to go in these joint practices, you got defense, coaches and defensive personnel, other than what we've shown on Twitter, they don't know what's coming at them. And, on top of that, they're going out there for their paycheck and to win a spot on their 53. They're not worried about our health. And those are just two variable factors. So these things all weigh in. So we're going to get some answers. We're not going to get all the answers, but we're going to get some answers. So this is an exciting week coming upon us. Speaking of Tuesday night, I'm going to be having a little bit of a panel. So be out on the lookout for Tuesday night. We're going to be doing a panel here. And it's going to be some of the names you guys are very familiar with. All right. So we're going to have a good little training camp panel. It's going to get exciting. There's going to be a lot of noise. That's for sure. So be on the lookout for that on Tuesday is what we're looking to set it up for. All right, guys. Now, as far as, again, back to this weekend, I think it's a big positive that Tua has bounced back from, an odd day here and there, after really looking good when the pads first came on. He's bounced back, and man, that's all you want to see. Listen, that's all you want to see. This guy, he's no quarterback is going to look good day in, day out. It just doesn't happen. You're going to have off days. So get those off days out of your system early on in pads so we can be on point and we can be sharp against the Bucs next week. I would rather have your off days early on when the pads are on against our team, and let's start getting sharp and let's start working that rust off against these legit teams here, because we've got chances here to build some confidence and to really start building an identity. See, that's the great thing about these joint practices. You can build confidence and you can build identity in different units, right? So like we already know our identity, basically in the secondary, in the front seven right now. We have a good firm understanding of our defensive identity in all of our different units. But as a wide receiver, a wide receiver room, running room, quarterback room, and the offensive line, we've still got to, set our tone and find our identity. And, these joint practices and these preseason games, you can start finding that. You're not going to find it by the end of it. You'll find it through the season, hopefully as early as possible, but you can start finding it and grasping it. These are good opportunities to start doing that. These are good opportunities. So I'm hyped. I've been hyping these joint practices and these preseason games up since before OTAs. I'm hyped. Let's go. Shout out to the homie Foxton around, Austin showing up. I see Bobby's in the chat. Go follow him on Twitter, Bobby Shouts, and go follow King of Finland. A lot of people give him a lot of crap for that meme he put out today. I thought it was hilarious. Everyone's a little too sensitive in this fan base right now, okay? Right? We're a little too sensitive in this fan base right now. We need to relax. We need to let things happen, all right? It's going to be fun season, all right? Tua, I'm telling you, top 12 this year. Bank it, book it, whatever. Guys, I put money down on him winning the MVP. Do I think he's going to win the MVP? No. But I think if he gets that top 12 expectation I'm thinking about, he's a good dark horse candidate. This guy goes out there and puts up 32 tubs, 4,200 yards, 8 interceptions, and we go to the playoffs, those are MVP-like numbers, bro. I'm just saying. And we've got the weapons where, hey, I put money on it. I'm not saying I'm going to win, but I look at what Matt Ryan did in this offense. I look at Tua. I see a lot of similarities, man. I see a lot of similarities. And guess what? I think I know they had Julio, but and I know they had their backfield committee with Coleman, Devontae Freeman, but I think we got better weapons than what Matt Ryan had overall, like depth-wise. You know what I'm saying? I think we got better weapons overall than what Matt Ryan had. So, again, I'm not saying he's Matt Ryan, but that's the ceiling and ability to thrive. That's what that's the trajectory I'm looking towards, and not this Jimmy G bull crap, okay? Stop. It's not Jimmy G. It's not Jimmy G. Everyone's looking at the wrong quarterback. I'm telling you, and I've been telling you. You got to look at Matt Ryan. And hopefully I'm going to get my film study out this week for Mike McDaniel, where I'm going to be taking a look at the 49ers and the Atlanta Falcons offense for you guys. I've been plugging away at it. Hopefully I get it done before the first preseason game. That's what I'm aiming for. So, listen, these are all realistic expectations we're talking about. This is not far-fetched. So it's up to Tua to deliver now, and it's up to the guys around him to deliver. And again, I'm going to say this. Our run game and our passing game and everyone's ability to thrive in this offense is going to come down to the 5 men in front of Tua Tagovailoa. Stop playing games at the center position. Do your thing. Go get someone. Sturdy it. I'm not here for Eichenberg's feelings or Eichenberg's draft status. Do you think I care about an extra third round pick we move for Eichenberg, when guess what? That pick was from this last year. So this past draft. So that doesn't impact us anymore. We're ready to win now. See, this is what's frustrating me. And I'm going to tell you guys this. And I've had this conversation with Ball Game. I've had this conversation with Richmond Webb, Ball Game. And I think I've had this with EM. We got $20 million right now after we cut Adam Butler. Yes, I agree with each and every one of you. Tua is the most set up he's ever been to win in Miami. I agree with that 110%. No argument from reason. But guess what? We got $20 million extra dollars, and that's a lot of capital to use to make it even better around him. Okay? Chicago needs a receiver right now. N'Keal Harry's down. Preston Williams, Tevin Jenkins, let's go. And you know what? If Jenkins and Jackson, if Jackson loses, throw him back to left guard. He'd be a better left guard in this offense than he would be in a power gap scheme. Him moving next to Teron Armstead? Yes, please. I like that better than Eichenberg. Austin Jackson has shown if you put someone next to him, back to his rookie season, when Kinley was playing the best ball he's played as a Dolphin, Jackson has showed if you put someone next to him that's competent, he can move men. That's why you've heard the reports of him and Hunt moving guys. And if you put him next to, if you really want to keep rolling with Connor Williams at center, put Austin Jackson in between them. Him next to Teron Armstead, they'll move well. They'll move real well together. And he can learn right next to Teron Armstead. Right next to him. Put him right in the trenches next to him. And Tevin Jenkins at right tackle if he wins. And if Tevin Jenkins loses, throw him in the left guard competition with Eichenberg. And at worst, what? Tevin Jenkins becomes a cheap, highly touted swing tackle that we can continue to develop? And you get rid of Preston Williams, who means nothing right now? Because let's speak reality here. $20 million could buy you an elite center. It's just if you're willing to pay, spend the draft capital. Because you could get someone and extend them, or you could price someone. But I mean, the guys recently, I mean, Jensen's hurt and Corey Linsley ain't leaving. So, you know what I mean? But what I'm sitting here saying is $20 million, that's an elite lineman and a damn good depth guy. Now, I get we want to roll some over here. But, I mean, there's options here. And if we were really smart, we would have known what was coming down the pipeline with the NFL. And guess what? They would have moved off that draft pick, so we wouldn't have had to pay that first rounder until maybe next year or the year after. Sorry, I mean the year after next. I apologize. In 2024. If they would have moved, because they wouldn't have been able to take the San Francisco pick, because by the CBA terms, that's San Francisco's pick. They can't take that. They would have had to take our pick in 2024. So that means we wouldn't have had to pay the piper for 2 years, and you could have moved that pick for a center. There is a ton of stuff you could have done here. But we're here now. Dieter ain't going to be the dude. Why play games with Connor Williams? Put him back at his natural position. You are choosing to split up potentially the best left side in the AFC between Connor Williams and Terron Armstead just for stubbornness. And I've been trying to tell you guys, I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. And my only theory, and this is just me speculating, has to be the pressure to Eichenberg. I don't know what the deal is, whether, a lot of people think, oh, they were brought in to fix Tua. Well, don't think McDaniel did not have a list of coaches he wanted to bring in on the offensive side of the football, especially Matt Applebaum, Embry, guys who were free to come here. And don't think they didn't look at it and say, oh, a lot of these guys are really good with the offensive line. Okay, can you make Austin Jackson and Eichenberg work? And I do want to say this. Who was the man that told all y'all and I got pushed back on Spaces, I got pushed back on YouTube. I told y'all from the get-go, from day one, Austin Jackson was going to be the right tackle. As soon as we hired Mike McDaniel, I said, that's going down. All right? Okay, number one. Number two, I told you this Eichenberg thing I don't like. And it seems like the issue right now is Eichenberg and Connor Williams, because you look at a lot of leakage. It comes through the interior on that side, and it comes from the left side when Terron Armstead's out, from a lot of the clips that I've seen. So, it's just, you got $20 million. Why are we playing twiddly dinks? There's options. There's been options. Matt, and if Matt Parody is going to be good to go by the regular season. That's a guy who he actually doesn't need to practice very much because he's been successful outside zone blocking, like he did in Denver when Lindsey was popping up behind him. Matt Parody is right there. I always get him those names switched up. Matt Parody is right there, and he's been there. If Treader, I've been telling you all, Treader's too much, and he's priced himself out, and now Omar confirmed it. So I think you got to do something here. And if you're going to bring in someone like that who's not even healthy yet, bring him in the building so they can be on the sideline. They can be in the group meetings. They can start getting involved. But we'll go over the centers they brought in today at the end of the training camp report, and they're not bringing in whoever. Show me a list of guys you don't want to compete for the starting job without showing me a list of guys you don't want to, compete for the starting job. Ridiculous. So let's make a move, man. We got the capital. This team is built to win now. I'm telling you, this is how I see this team. This year, we get to the playoffs, we win a game. Next year, we coming for that AFC championship. That's how this needs to be. This is about next offseason, about fine-tuning the final pieces needed. Because I think Tua's going to enter the top 12 realm, so I'm rolling with that. We can win a playoff game or two this season. Next year, we're rolling for it. We're coming for the Lombardi next year. So invest now. Invest now. We got a 3-year window with Tyreek's. I've been telling y'all since we signed Tyreek. We got a 3-year window with Tyreek's contract. That man, in his 4th year, kicks into $50 million per year when you look at the numbers. We're not eating that. We got a 3-year window with Tyreek on this team to win, because he's not going to restructure. Remember, he didn't want to restructure in KC. I'm blessed, and I hope he does. And he's going to be 32 by that time, too. So you ain't paying a 32-year-old receiver $50 million. Love Tyreek, and I hope he restructures and stays and keeps balling until he's 40 and stays a Dolphin. Hope so. But I'm just going based off of what Paz has shown. He didn't want to restructure in Kansas a couple years ago, and he's going to be 32. And when those legs go because of his size, it's going to be a little bit tougher. Now, can he still Steve Smith mofos? Sure. But, yo, this 3-year window we've got, this season, next season, the season after, this is the time to win. Go all in. Scare money don't make no money. All right, let's start off. I'm going to start off, and I'm going to show you guys the clips from yesterday. Then we'll get into today's training camp report. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. We're going to have exclusive clips in this. So let me bring that up for y'all. I did this yesterday when I got home, and I'm going to have a special video for y'all dropping tomorrow in the daytime. Look for it in the early morning. 520 of you in the room. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. Okay, so this is because I wasn't live yesterday. I'm going to show you guys the clips from yesterday. This is, and you know I'm going to while out when those net throws happen, because I got home from dinner and a big, me and my wife went to the falls gambling and everything like that. Came home and I saw this and I was like, wow, I was loving life. I was so bitter I didn't go live. I felt like I let y'all down, but I'm here today, so I'm not letting those highlights get past me. Let's roll those. So obviously, yesterday Wilkins had the orange jersey. I'm sure the playlist was on. Again, shout out to one of the mods here, Mateo, for sending. I got 15 exclusive clips in here that you're not going to see anywhere else. So again, as we see every day, those boys working the pads and the sleds. Love it. Love it. And the dummies. There's some dummy work. Let's go. I'm telling you guys, Phillips, bank it. The more practice happens, and this is a thing I'm really taking notes of. Jalen Phillips is a guy I'm consistently taking notes of. That's a guy I can't wait to put stock into when it starts translating, because that man is going to enter the top 10 realm this year. You know, I felt like I went out on a limb when I said he was going to enter top 10 this year and next year start getting up there with the Myles Garretts and the Bosas, but I don't know about that. I think that's no longer a hot take. That might be reality. This throw from Tua, barely. The tracking was a little off there. It was there. The run game, and I like how they went to the far field to avoid all y'all from recording yesterday. Oh, Tua step back, goes deep, off. And then they started working the net throws, and Tua, that's one he missed. He hit the front of the machine. Boom, overthrow right there, but that wasn't Tua. Tua now, beautiful, right on the money. Bring that back. Let me bring them all back. We'll bring back the miss too. Let me turn the volume up. I think that was Teddy, overshot it. Tua steps back, unleashes that, boom, right in the bucket. Does a little dance. Here's the view that the team posted for y'all. Ooh, what a pretty spiral, man. What a pretty spiral. Teddy, he comes through. He bombs one in the money. Love it, Teddy. Teddy's really bounced back. I love it. Skyler, this is the one he hit. Beautiful ball from Skyler. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Tua was 2 for 3. Bridgewater was 2 for 3.
2 for 2.
Here you go.
2 for Tua. Oh.
Hit the front of that. Another angle of him in the front of that. There's the other Tua one. Tua was 2 for 3. Teddy was 2 for 3, and Skyler was 1 for 3. Look at that. Nice catch and run. Love it. Beautiful, beautiful stuff up the sideline. Love it. Love it. And there you go. There's that waddle. There's that throw. Yo, man, we're going to see that. There's that yak, baby. Yak the heck out of teams. It's coming. Do a little dance. Show a little love. Get down tonight, baby. That was obviously the big throw in the day. One of Tua's best throws in camp. Run game put in work. Get to that edge and hit that sideline, baby. Let's go. I love how the Dolphins are trying to circumvent us. Amazing. Too little too much on that. A little too much on that. Again, that fake pitch that they're loving in this offense. There you go. Completion. Gotta love it. I love how they got Michael Jackson's hand. There's that no Igbenogany. That controversial no Igbenogany. Did he pick it? Didn't he? That's what that was at the end. So that was Saturday's highlights. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So now we're going to get into the training camp report from today. Then we're going to go over all the highlights that I've compiled today. We got almost a 5-minute video of highlights from today. Shout out to all those who tagged me in videos and such. I appreciate you guys for sharing it because my plug actually wasn't able to be there today. Again, shout out to Mateo. He did such a great job for us over here at Phinside The NFL and getting a lot of these exclusive clips. Appreciate you, homie. Then after we take a look at the clips, I want to go over McDaniel's media availability. We got an article on that just to go over some key points. Then I want to take a look at the 3 names that we brought in to work out at center. So we got a lot to go over today, guys. So again, hey, yesterday that 65-yard throw from Tua was a nice one, one of his best throws so far. Speaking of Tua throws, be out on the lookout for a special video coming tomorrow regarding Tua Tagovailoa. All right, be on the lookout for that. Now let's go ahead. Let's get into everything. Let's start off, as we always do, with what the Miami Herald reported about today, which was a really good day from Tua. Between nets and dropping dimes over the field, he's lining it up. And I want to say too, sorry, that clip we showed at the end of it wasn't the Noah Benogany almost pick. I believe that was the McKinley pick. I apologize. That was a McKinley pick. What about my boy McKinley with 2 picks in back-to-back? Hey, coming out of nowhere, baby. Ro McKinley, let's go. Let's go. Oh, yeah. The Dolphins' final South Florida practice for 9 days featured a bevy of highlight-worthy plays, including a spectacular interception from undrafted Oregon safety Verone McKinley. A very good day by Tua Tagovailoa and the usual impact from Tyreek Hill. And notice when they started talking about how Skylar hadn't thrown interceptions in practice, he starts throwing interceptions in practice. Why do they got to jinx him? Hill, he caught a bunch of passes for long gains, including a 50-yarder from Tagovailoa, a 30-yarder from Tagovailoa, and a 45-yarder from Teddy Bridgewater. He also gained at least 15 yards on a run, his second rushing attempt in 2 practices. Only one blemish from Hill today. He dropped a pass across the middle. Javon Holland would have annihilated him with a big hit in a real game. And we got those clips for you. Tagovailoa made several excellent throws from 40 yards in receiver defensive back drills. 2 of those passes traveled 40 yards and were caught by Hill and Cedric Wilson, who beat Trill Williams on the play. Then he delivered the gorgeous bomb to Hill for a big gain in 1-on-1 11-11 drills, which some people think it's out, some people say it's in. Tagovailoa also read the blitz perfectly on an excellent 20-plus yard throw to Trent Sherfield. We got that clip too. Who outran defenders on a 60-yard touchdown play in 11-11 work. Tagovailoa was slightly off on a couple of longer throws, including a 30-yarder over the middle that Jalen Waddle couldn't haul in with one hand. But then he was very good in more 11-11 work, including a well-placed throw to Hill for 30 yards. And later, Tagovailoa escaped the pocket and threw a 10-yard touchdown to Wilson. Through what was essentially a Hail Mary into the end zone to end practice, and Javon Holland intercepted it. Zach Seiler, defensive lineman, continued to be an excellent camp. He had 2 sacks today. Emmanuel Logba had a sack, and Jalen Phillips had at least 1 sack and has a half dozen in camp. Bro, this guy, let's go, baby. Andy Van Ginkel continued a very good camp with another quarterback pressure, and Porter Gustin had a sack, at least his 4th in the past 4 practices. Darius Hodge had a tackle for loss on Salvin Ahmed, though he also dropped an interception. Melvin Ingram and Brennan Scarlett made excellent stops on running plays. McKinley, who had an interception, recovered a Jared Dokes fumble. Told y'all this guy's got a nose for the ball. Nose for the ball. Let's go. McKinley made his second interception in 2 days, and it was spectacular. McKinley tipped a 50-yard pass from Skylar Thompson to Jalen Waddle and caught the deflection. Tagovailoa's beautiful 50-yard pass to Waddle for a touchdown, sending the crowd into a state of delirium. Tyndall had his biggest play of camp so far. He forced a Mozart fumble, and Preston Williams, out of the witness protection program, jumped to make an impressive catch on a sideline throw from Tua Tagovailoa. Williams, after being invisible for most of camps, made 2 nice catches for sizable gain, including one for a touchdown. Trade stock up. Zaquande White, who has displayed good speed in camp, had a long run called back by a holding penalty. Adam Pankey, who was cross-training at center, had more snapping issues on Sunday. God help us all. One was fumbled by Teddy Bridgewater on Sunday. Oh. Come on, man. Stop treating it like it's a running back position. Sherfield has made a strong case for the number 5 receiver job. He caught that aforementioned Tagovailoa pass and ran it in on a 60-yard scoring play. Fullback Alec Ingold, coming along from last season's Week 10 ACL injury when he was a Raider, caught a pass on the sideline for a significant gain. One of the very few touches in 11-11 work he's had. Ingold recently has begun participating in 11-11 work. Thompson has now thrown 2 interceptions in 2 days after not throwing any in his first 8 camp practices. Because you shouldn't have said anything, Barry. But he also made several good throws, including a strike to Hill. The 7th rounder has impressed. Jason Sanders made a 54-yard field goal and 3 other field goals in the range of 30 to 50 yards, but missed from 42 today. Gesicki caught a 10-yard pass and then a 20-yarder a short time later, both from Tagovailoa. Gesicki, trying to improve his blocking in an offense that demands that, has received limited opportunities in the passing game through 10 days of camp. Adam Shaheen caught a 20-yarder from Thompson. Bridgewater, who has had a very good past few days, completed a 25-yarder to River Craycraft, who has a legitimate chance to win the number 6 job if the team keeps 6. Yeah, it seems like Craycraft, Sanders has slowed down a bit, and Craycraft is starting to gain a little bit, but that's what's, that's the battle right there. Among the linebackers, beyond the Tyndall forced fumble, Duke Riley and Calvin Munson shared a tackle for a loss, and Sam McGuavin had a sack. DeAndre Johnson, the former Miami Hurricanes defensive end, made a good move on a pass rush and forced Skylar Thompson to throw a pass away. It could have easily been ruled a sack. Johnson is playing outside linebacker for the Dolphins. Another rookie edge player, Owen Carney, also had a sack. Igbenogany knocked away a pass for River Craycraft during a 2-minute drill to close practice. Xavier Howard wore an orange jersey awarded by the coaching staff to the player who particularly stood out in the previous day's practice. The Dolphins will be off the next 2 days, then practice with the Buccaneers in Tampa on Wednesday and Thursday. Again, be here live on Tuesday. I will have a panel for you guys, and then tomorrow Monday, I will have a video coming out for you guys. Michael Dieter, Byron Jones, punter Thomas Morstead, and defensive backs Clayton Fedulum, Sheldrick Redwine, and Elijah Campbell remain out. McDaniel said none of the injuries are long-term issues. Taron Armstead, after 2 active days of practice, received a maintenance day today on Sunday. He's been working his way back from minor offseason knee procedure. Linebacker Landon Roberts had a maintenance day. Trill Williams landed awkwardly on a touchdown catch by Wilson and was assisted by the trainers before returning to practice a short time later. Thank God. We need you, Trill. Trill! We need you, Trill. We need you. All right. Continuing on. What the Sun Sentinel had to say today. It's a beautiful thing that Omar, one of Tua's, he's a believer in Tua, but he's one of his harshest critics. Look at this. Tua carves up defense until final play. Loves it. Turkey must be on the dinner menu at Tua Tagovailoa's house because the quarterback spent most of Sunday's practice carving up the Miami Dolphins defense. It didn't matter if it was 11-11 one-on-ones or the team's 11-11s in their periods of practice. Tagovailoa was sharp with his throws, timing, and execution of Miami's new offense. His most beautiful pass of the day, which would have been a long ball connection with receiver Tyreek Hill, who got behind cornerback Xavier Howard, didn't even count because Hill stepped out of bounds on the play, but the 55-yard throw was a work of art. I'd throw a review flag on the play. Tagovailoa threw 2 touchdown passes during 11-11 period, but there were 2 plays at the end of the session that spoiled his day and allowed Miami's defense to walk away the victors. During a scrimmage-like situation where every quarterback and his unit started from the 30, Tagovailoa drove his unit downfield with ease this time around, connecting on a touchdown pass to receiver Cedric Wilson. And we got this highlight. Cedric dropped the shoulder on Holland, baby. Ooh! Woo! In the next scrimmage-like situation, the Dolphins put a minute on the clock, and Tagovailoa's unit needed to score a touchdown in the end-of-game scenario. After converting a big third-down throw with a 27-yard pass, receiver Jalen Waddle put down to convert 3rd and 6. The drive began to stall. A sack from defensive end Emmanuel Ogbah and linebacker Jalen Phillips would have likely have been shared and set up a 3rd and 13 with 11 seconds left on the clock. On the next play, Tagovailoa hurled a desperation pass into the end zone that Holland picked off for the interception in the left corner that ended practice. But overall, Tagovailoa has had a solid 2 weeks of training camp, showcasing his accuracy, executing on third downs and in red zone, and delivering big throws consistently. I mean, we're mad, Sam McGuavin said at the conclusion of practice. Right now, I'm not friends with Tua. I'm not friends with Tyreek. We'll play ping pong in the locker room, but I mean, the more they score in practice, the more we're getting chewed out in the film room. Observation from today from Omar: Chase Edmonds is seemingly separating himself from the pack of tailbacks. No real, we knew that would happen. Producing some of the bigger runs each days. The Dolphins' defensive line dominated practice, providing a number of standout plays like Zach Seiler's sack of backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, Wilkins' sack of Tagovailoa, and Benito Jones producing a tackle for a loss during 11-11 run from tailback Salvin Ahmed. Let's go, boys. Ooh, if this defense can stop the run, we are going to be disgusting on defense if they add that element, that consistent element of stopping the run this year. Let's go, baby. That makes me check my pulse right there. Receiver Preston Williams, who has publicly complained about the limited targets he's received the final 2 weeks of camp, made his first nice catch on a great throw from rookie quarterback Skylar Thompson after beating cornerback D'Angelo Ross 25 yards downfield. Rookie and having to beat like the 4s and 5s to make plays. Rookie linebacker Channing Tindall, the Dolphins' 2022 third-round draft pick, delivered a tackle for a loss on a tailback Jared Doak's run during Miami's scrimmage-like period. Off-the-mark snaps continue to be an issue for the Dolphins, who are grooming Connor Williams and Adam Pankey to play center, God help us, a position they have never played in a game before. The Dolphins are optimistic Dieter's foot injury will only keep him sidelined a few more days, but at this point, Miami should be considering workouts for backup center options. Oh, how they did. Stock up. Verone McKinley, an undrafted player from Oregon, is becoming Thompson's top foe on defense. Not only did McKinley produce the first interception of Thompson in training camp on Saturday, but he followed it up by picking him off a second time on Sunday, pulling in a pass intended for Waddle that McKinley tipped into the air after bringing down and running back roughly 20 yards. McKinley also recovered a Dokes fumble in the early 11-11 periods. Stock downs. If the Dolphins have to go into a game that matters with Greg Little and Larnell Coleman as one of the team's starting left tackles, they probably won't like the outcome. Little, a former third-round pick who the team traded for last year during camp, and Coleman, a 2021 seventh-round pick, haven't impressed in their elevated roles with Terron Armstead sits out practices. Dolphins need one of them to become reliable to avoid having to move a guard to tackle or scavenging the waiver wire or trade market for tackle help. Trill Williams had that scary moment where he slid on concrete at the end of a one-on-one rep, but he came back. Armstead was out for maintenance. Flagellum, Lovett, and Redwine all set out practice with injuries, and Roberts had his maintenance day today. So, man, a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff, man. Offense making plays, the defense making plays. The fact that our offense is battling with our defense this hard, that's got to be optimistic alone. Teddy's making plays, Skylar's making plays, Tua's making plays in this offense. I mean, against a defensive unit that's only been upgraded and that's been together for a couple years now. Like, that's very promising. That all these different guys, that makes me smile that that Skylar and Teddy are having a legit battle for number 2. I like that. Now, I think Teddy's still the best backup in football. He's not going to lose, but, I need Skylar to keep pushing him. You know why? Because I don't think Skylar's going to make the practice squad. And if Skylar ain't going to make the practice squad and a quarterback goes down throughout the NFL, maybe you dangle Teddy for a 4th or a 5th or something, or a 6th, get something. And I mean, that should be an option, and then elevate Skylar to the backup role. Because I don't know, it's going to be hard. I would be very shocked if they are able to slide him onto the practice squad and we keep him. I would be very shocked, because it looks like he's working on the things that he needed to work on coming out of Kansas, and that's very positive stuff, man. And if that's a guy you can eventually turn into a 4th or 5th round pick or 3rd round pick that like the Patriots used to do, you want that, man. That's extra capital every year. So that's good stuff, man. I like our offenses battling, new personnel, new staff, new installs, and they're they're battling with our defense. I like it. That's very positive, especially this weekend. They've been battling tough. The Miami Dolphins conducted their final practice at the Baptist Health Training Complex on Sunday before heading out to Tampa for joint practices with the Buccaneers. I can't wait, baby. There were big plays made on both sides of the ball, with the rookie free agent shining on defense and nice throws by all 3 quarterbacks. Rookies Cameron Good and DeAndre Johnson were given the task on this day of firing up the fans before practice started. With that, let's dive into the practice report. Veteran punter Thomas Morstead returned to practice to do the holding on Jason Sanders' first goal attempts, while the rest of the injury list remained the same. It includes safety Sheldrick Redwine, safety Clayton Fledglum, offensive lineman Dieter, fullback John Levitt, and Elijah Campbell is still out. Tackle Armstead and linebacker Orlando Roberts had their maintenance days. Xavier Howard wore the orange jersey because he was the top guy today from practice on Saturday. Alec Ingold continued wearing a non-contact jersey. Rookie safety Verone McKinley came up with to the Dolphins with a reputation for being around the ball, and he certainly did that Sunday. He recovered a fumble by Jared Dokes on a running play, and later came up with perhaps the best play of camp so far, when he provided deep one-on-one coverage against Jalen Waddle, tipped a long pass of Skylar Thompson, and caught the deflection for a second interception in 2 practices. Let's go, McKinley. Going down with not going down without a fight, buddy. Attaboy. Make me look smart. I love you, Verone. Let's go. Wide receiver Trent Sherfield had a steady camp, but overall unremarkable camp. But he was noticeable Sunday. But when he caught 3 passes, the highlight was a long completion from Tua down the middle of the field that would have produced a long gain in a game situation. Edge defender Darius Hodge was noticeable in team drills, breaking up a short pass intended for Durham Smythe, and later stuffing Dokes on a run play. Tagovailoa rebounded nicely after a tough practice Saturday. He completed 11 of 17 passes in team periods with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, though the interception came in an end of the game's simulation where the offense had to score on the final play, and he just chucked it in desperation. The play that drew the most attention at practice and simultaneously on Twitter was a long pass to Tyreek Hill and Xavier Howard down the right sideline, but the official closest to the play immediately ruled an incompletion because Hill was out of bounds. His 2 best throws were one over the middle to his forte, to Trent Sherfield over the middle down the field. That might have gone for a very long touchdown with Yak. A short pass to Cedric Wilson where he rolled to his right and threw a strike against his body. We got that clip too. It was a great play. Tua did have a nice 30-yard throw to Hill on a deep out late in practice. Tua did have a couple misfires early in the team periods, usually throwing too high. Tua also had an incompletion when Hill dropped a pass over the middle with Javon Holland zeroing in on him, a play that would have been ugly and resulted in a big hit in game. What stood out about Teddy Bridgewater's day was that he had a couple of bad exchanges, including one where he dropped the ball, fell on it, and it was touched down. Bridgewater completed 6 of 9 passes in team periods, including a deep completion down the right sideline to Hill that was almost identical to that of Tua, though Hill was able to stay in bounds to make the catch on this one. Bridgewater also had a nice completion for about 20 yards to River Craycraft over a defender. One of his incompletions came off a naked bootleg when his receiver was covered, and he threw the ball away. Skylar Thompson didn't have a highlight bomb like Tagovailoa or Teddy Bridgewater, though he had the best pass of the day. It came when he had to quickly step up in the pocket to avoid pressure. Before being able to completely set his feet, he threw a beauty over a defender on a deep out to Preston Williams. Thompson finished the day 6 for 10 with 1 interception, which came on McKinley's incredible play. Because of his tweet Monday night, we have to keep continuing tabs on Preston Williams, who had the one catch on that great pass by Thompson. He also had another catch on a short outside throw from Tagovailoa. Good news regarding Connor Williams and the shotgun snap issues, as he had a clean day in that department. Adam Pankey had a couple that were tad high, but nothing egregious. Sanders was 6 for 7 on field goal attempts with a long of 55 yards, and his one miss came from 42 yards out. Kadir Kahu, again, was very strong in one-on-one passing drills. One of his stops came against Jalen Waddle. Love it. Kahu's name is continuously popped up. I love it. Raekwon Davis met Raheem Mostert at the line on the first play in team periods. Benito Jones had a tackle for loss on a run play by Salman Ahmed. Kahu also did a good job of fighting off a block by rookie Brennan Sanders on a running play by Tyreek Hill that I think gained like 15 yards. Keeping in mind that pass rushers stopped before hitting the quarterback. We counted 7 plays that could have ended in sacks in the game. Those credited with sacks from the vantage point were AVG, Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins, Ogba, Seiler, Sam McGuavin, and Owen Carney Jr. And Igbo broke up a pass intended for River Craycraft. Look at Igbo He's saying, don't forget about me, guys. I'm here. Don't forget about me. 635 of you in the room. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Show some love, baby. Appreciate each and every one of you. Let's quickly roll through Travis's timeline, then head over to the Palm Beach Post, which might be behind a paywall for some of y'all. And then we'll get into the video highlights from today because there's a lot. Got like 5 minutes of video highlights. So Travis Wingfield, some notes from him on one-on-ones. Liam Eichenberg was imperative. Got every move in the kitchen sink from the likes of Wilkins, Seiler, and Davis, and he didn't see him get beat once. Agba and Van Ginkel won the edge repeatedly in such different ways. AVG's ability to shorten the corner looked good. Tua put on a clinic. He had absolute dimes at Cedric Wilson and Trent Sherfield into the smallest of windows for long touchdowns. So did Tyreek. My goodness, his sudden movement, the way he gets out of breaks. Presses Travis. Presses all of us. Raekwon stacks up a block, and Jerome scrapes. We've heard this a couple times, right? And Jerome scrapes to make the stop at the line on an Edmonds run to start the team period. Raekwon carrying over a dominant one-on-one period into team, man. That guy's, listen, there's players we can't afford to lose this year. Xavier Howard, Javon Holland, Raekwon Davis, I think Christian Wilkins. I'm going to say Phillips. We can't afford to lose Tyreek. One of Chase Edmonds or Mostert needs to stay healthy the full year. We can't afford to lose Teron Armstead. And, you know, Raekwon Davis is one of those big names where you can't afford to lose this year. You see the dip in our run defense when he's out, right? Durham Smythe seals the edge for Edmonds to get a couple, but something we've seen all camp long shows up on defense again, the pursuit. They emphasize it, and the speed is very, very noticeable. Brandon Jones and Jerome Baker there to usher him out. Love it. Really nice combo coverage from Igbo and Holland on Waddle. Tua has to tuck it, and the play ends in the sack from Wilkins. Brennan Scarlett widens the edge and comes off his block back inside for a step on a Gaskin run. He's been super strong in that department all camp. Gesicki with a nice release to come clean over the middle, but Bridgewater's pass is a little bit behind. Mike also reached back and plucked it. Benito Jones blows through the line for tackle for loss, gets a chest bump from Wilkins coming over to the sideline. Man, I like how we've properly developed Benito Jones, because Benito Jones, if you remember, he was a guy who was a great pass rusher, but a liability in run defense. And to see him making tackles for losses and run defense, that's a great development from a guy, you know, who has a lot of capability, man. And me and EM loved him coming out of the draft, if you guys remember. Zach Seiler fights off a double team and makes a stop at the line on a Mostert carry. Zacondre White shows off the start-stop ability as he finds the cutback lane and has about 15 before he goes out of bounds. Flag came in at the end. Skylar Thompson finds Tyreek for about 15. The offense continues to find ways to utilize all the speed they have at the skill groups. What starts as a good hard run up the middle from Mostert, but the rookie Channing Tindall comes up and jars the ball loose, and the defense recovers. Elijah Hamilton recovered it. Melvin Ingram is having none of a toss play, forces Edmonds to bubble, which allows Baker to fly over with his speed and make the stop. Guys, don't sleep on Melvin Ingram. He's going to take reps away from AVG as long as he stays healthy this year. I'm telling you. You watch. Jackson and Hunt lead the way for a 15-yard run. Rip by Chase Edmonds. Running wide, pressed up, and bounced it with some good blocking from Waddle and Long outside. Love it, baby. Waddle, Long. Oh, man. Jackson and Hunt. Beautiful. Beautiful, baby. Alec Ingold had a really nice camp, according to Travis. He shows versatility with a smooth reception up the sideline from Tua today. The transition from route to ball carrier looked like a running back in Travis's eyes. And just like that, Ingold leads a Mozart run into the second level on the next play. Tua finds Tyreek on a deep ball behind X and before Holland can get over. Plays go for 50, 45 in the air. That's the one that a couple of people are saying was out of bounds. Phillips picks up a sack on what might have been the quickest pass rush win I've seen this camp. He bluffed with power, then went around the outside and won with speed, and he calls Jalen Phillips a specimen. Ahmed has 10 before he gets contact on a nice patient run going wide. Teddy works a dime over the top of D'Angelo Ross, which Tyreek wins at the line. And again, the safety can't get over in time. It was a gain for 40. A few days ago, Travis said Phillips had the fastest pass rush win he'd seen. Seiler had a pass rush almost as fast today, if not faster. Tua's got another big play. This time, a 60-yard touchdown to Trent Sherfield. Blitz comes, Tua feels it and gets it out with perfect placement to let Sherfield split the defense and find pay dirt. Preston Williams does a nice job to come back to the ball from Tua that the DB tried to jump, but Williams wrestles it away and gets to the sticks for a first down on third down. Darius Hodge peels back into coverage and has a ball from Skylar Thompson. Hit him between the 4 and the 1, but he can't squeeze it. Verone McKinley has one of the most impressive plays of camp, according to Travis, which everyone else has said too, right? A 50-50 ball with Waddle that he comes down with by deflecting to himself for a quote-unquote gorgeous interception. Thompson threw it. Thompson responds with an absolute dime the next play. 20 yards downfield to Preston Williams. He stepped up out of pressure and dropped it in the elevator shaft. Positively no separation, but you could not have handed the ball off better. Blaze Andreas with a nice block in space on a dump off to Zaquande White. That was a fun period. He says there was explosive plays all over the place. Sanders goes good on 4 for 5. He had a miss from 42, but he hit from 30, 36, 50, and 55. Edmonds now has a nifty run. Has a nifty cut at the point of attack and gets to the second level before Javon Holland comes down from the depth to shut it down after a 5 or 6 yard pickup. Eichenberg, there you go, and Williams with the key blocks. There you go. Christian Wilkins has a sack. He got through immediately with an arm over. We're in game simulation period now. Tua finds Gesicki over the middle on 3rd and 16 to set up 4th and 4. Defense rallied to cut him down. Offense stays out. Tua fires to Tyreek at the sticks, but he can't squeeze it. Tight coverage from Noah. Bridgewater with a nice timing throw to Craycraft to pick up 20-25. Ball met him right out of his break in a soft spot in the defense. Teddy having a nice day. Now it's a shot to Hunter Long over the middle for 10 or so. Good patient run by Myles Gaskin. Good vision. Quick cut to get north and south. Iguavin. Now we're at Iguavin. He shows the burst as he loops around for a free run on Teddy. DeAndre Johnson and Carney have sacks against Skylar Thompson-led offense. Tua has Waddle down the middle, passes a little high, and as Waddle almost makes an Arondé Godson-style catch, but it falls incomplete. Arondé Godson, man. Are you serious? Tua comes right back with an absolute dime for 30 yards in the bucket to Tyreek along the sideline. Cheetah then proceeds to make about 74 tacklers miss. They're going to rule him down after a gain of 40. Brandon Jones shows his ability to break down and change direction on a little boot from Tua, but QB finds a wide open Gesicki with the hand in the face for another 20 yards. These plays and 60 yards from this Tua an attack as they get into the red zone. Igbenogany gets off a block and strings out Edmonds' run for a loss. Tua has Wilson for a 10-yard touchdown. Tua was moving to his right, cleared the hips, and put the ball right between the ones on Wilson's jersey. Wilson absorbs contact from Holland at the goal line and gets in. They rule it down and run a play from the one, and Edmonds' touchdown plunge. Skyler climbs up and away from pressure and drills one to Shaheen just out of reach of the defender. Rookie showing the goods today. Darius Hodge defeats a block and blows up Dokes in the backfield. 2-minute offense, down 4, 1 timeout and 1:15 to go. Tua to Waddle for 5, incomplete to Craycraft. Tua to Waddle for 25. Offense calls time, first down at the 37 with 38 seconds left. Starts pouring rain. Tua finds Edmonds for 2 on a false start. 18 seconds left in the 40. Agba gets in for a sack. Practice ends with Javon intercepting the Hail Mary attempt in the end zone after the Agba sack. So there's Travis's report. So again, when you cover all these different people, you get all these different notes and you get all these different takes and you hear different things. It's always good. So the Palm Beach Post, this is what Joe Shad reported today. The Dolphins had their final practice before traveling to Tampa for 2 joint practices and a preseason game against the Bucs. Coach Mike McDaniel noted that some veterans will continue to have their workload managed. Some were limited Sunday and some will be limited in Tampa. Here are some things we noticed on Sunday. Xavier Howard is wearing the orange jersey as a player of the last Dolphins practice. If X's play, it's X's playlist choice day today as well. Taron Armstead, Byron Jones, Clayton Fledgling, Elijah Campbell, Thomas Morstead, Michael Dieter, John Lovett, and Landon Roberts and Shelter Grandwine did not practice today. Franz roars. Tagovailoa strikes with Tyreek on a 40-yard touchdown against Noah Igbenogany in 1-on-1. Another bomb to a chance as he hits Cedric Wilson deep for a touchdown over Trill Williams. Raekwon Davis looks incredibly svelte and fit. Okay, pause on that, Joe. Skylar Thompson rolled to his right and hit Tyreek with an impressive throw. Tua connected with Tyreek on a deep pass play down the right sideline against Xavier Howard. Some here are saying the officials indicated it was out of bounds. Bridgewater connected with Tyreek Hill on a deep pass play down the field. Sherfield hauled a long pass play from Tua. It's a good day for the passing game. Verone McKinley had an impressive interception on Skylar Thompson. Williams had a few good reps. Pankey is working to improve his snaps as he works at times at a new position of center. And Tua is having a good day. He dropped in a really nice pass to Tyreek near the right sideline. Tagovailoa is an improved player. Man, Joe, we all remember what you said on Big O's show. You are preaching a different story now, huh? All right. Highlights from today. Let's get into it. What went down? We got about 5 minutes almost of highlights, about 4.5 minutes of highlights. Let's show you guys what went down today at the 10th day of practice. Here we go. Obviously starts off with X rocking the orange. What a great throw by Tua there. Let's bring that back. Look at that throw by Tua. That throw by Tua. Thread the needle, baby. Yeah! Big, big, big. And get the run game on it. Get to the outside. Get to the outside. Loving the sauce out of the shotgun. Love it. Love the sauce out of the shotgun. Let's go. to Hill, and then here's another angle I'm going to show you. Gotta love it. Here's another angle. With that same throw. Got Ingles out there, put in some work. Love it. Love it. Up the interior, brother. Look at it. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Let's go. Love it. Love it. Xavier Howard really picked Adele. We're serious. Look at this. Woo! Away from the pressure. Finds the open man. Let's go, Tua. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go. There's another angle of that same play. Another angle of that same play, as you can tell by the Adele. Fake that pitch. Boom. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Ask your question. Came here for a reason.
Loving always motion, eh? Boom, over the middle, make a play, baby. Let's go. That's the Sherfield throw. Hit Sherfield, lets him make a play up the middle. Toward the Waddle side, dude. No, Sherfield. That was Sherfield. Motion again. Oh, that's that drop. That's that third down drop by Tyreek.
Where we going? Tyreek.
There's another angle of the drop. Who's going to step back, step up. Woo! Let's go. Over the middle, baby, all day. Here's the throw. Oh. That's that interception. That's the McKinley interception on Thompson. And then, ooh, across the body. Look at, ooh, Cedric kicks out. Holland, beautiful touchdown. Here's another angle of that same touchdown. Take the pitch, come back across the body. Find Cedric, let's go. All day touchdown. All day. And then Teddy. Ooh, big breakup by Holland today. Big breakup by Holland today. Teddy, though, the dime to Tyreek. Let's go. Beautiful stuff. Teddy's really come on the last two practices. Love it. And then here's that deep bomb right there to Cedric today for a big touchdown over Igbenogany by Tua. Man, check your pulse. How can you not be hyped, baby? Tell me how. Tell me how you can't be hyped. And then, guys, today after practice, the Miami Dolphins, they decided to work out centers Cole Cabral, Jake Lucina, and Cole Toner. Jake Lucina was in the UFL, I believe. Cole Cabral and Jake Lucina have never played in the NFL. Cole Toner is the only one who's played actually in the NFL. He was a fifth-round draft pick by the Cardinals in 2016. And in 2020, he played 10 games and started 3 games with the Chargers. So he was on the Houston Texans in their practice squad last year. And he started a game week 16 last year against the Chargers. I mean, guys, show me a list of names of players you don't really want to compete with Connor Williams without showing me a list of names of players you don't want to compete with Connor Williams. I mean, come on. No one coming in here is going to legitimately push. So unless one of these guys plays better than they have during their career. And I don't know if I foresee that. Come on. We got to do better than that. And then finally, guys, today, just some quick notes from McDaniel's presser today because he addressed some things. Miami Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel loves how fourth-round rookie receiver Eric Uzakama is coming along. I've been very happy with him the whole time, McDaniel said. He's made more plays now that he knows what he's doing. It doesn't surprise me. it will continue to get better and better. There are a lot of things he still needs to work on. He's a driven dude. His best football is in front of him. He's a big, strong dude that can make plays on the ball. His college shape, one thing we loved about him was is he is very hard to tackle. Those things you are starting to see a little more of. You will continue to see him make plays. McDaniel addressed other issues. On Hunter Long, he said he's a player we've had on our radar when I was on another team. He fits what we do. Very excited with him. The whole process, especially for tight ends, is difficult because of the scheme we run on both sides of the ball. The tight end position in general is a work in progress because we're undoing a bunch of technique that they've been used to their whole football life. Hunter started out really strong, grasped it super fast. It's a credit to the mind he has and the investment he's made. Now he's going through the second stage, honing the technique and attacking each day. He gives the defense issues each day with how he attacks the process. What does McDaniel mean by undoing a bunch of technique? The previous philosophy was not to get beat as opposed to attacking with known help. For us, a lot starts with running off the ball. You want to make sure your guy doesn't immediately tackle somebody. Here on these plays, you will have help. Here on these, you won't. It's a completely different mindset. It's like every time he blocks, he's running a route. It's coming with that mindset. It's like the adjustment the offensive line has to make in this new wide zone scheme. There's more space between them and the defender. McDaniel loves how running back room is coming together. I'm very happy with that room. One of my favorite rooms I've been around. Just watch if your eyes can go fast enough. They want to win the job. They don't want to be given it. He said some veterans might not necessarily practice the entirety of both joint practices against Tampa on Wednesday or Thursday. Both of those practices at the Buccaneers facility are closed to the public. McDaniel called Tyreek Hill a shorter player that doesn't play small and offered interesting insight on how coachable he is. He's very accountable. He's one of the first players I can show in team meetings and say this isn't to our standards or this isn't right. When I do that, I get a show of him correcting the mistake. He helped me set the tone with the players. I can say this isn't good enough or this is awesome. He does that with his assignments. He's the guy I can be hard on with his route depths and blocking. And every time he puts it on tape, he shows that he not only heard the coaching point, but it's important enough for him to fix it immediately. McDaniel said nobody on the team had a long-term injury. That includes Jones, Dieter, Morstead, Redwine, who have been sidelined on interacting with Dan Marino. You're kind of prepared, but never fully prepared for it. It's a humbling experience, but emotionally very confusing. I was born in 83. I grew up really liked him. He's passing for 5,000 yards. When today it would be like 6,000. I was a Broncos fan, so I spent my whole life saying John Elway was better than Dan Marino. Magically, I reversed course. McDaniel on running back Edmonds. The scheme we run is different from the one he played in at Arizona. He praised his feet for the game and cerebral approach. He has a field to apply abstract coaching points. His productivity is obvious and doing a great job. Man, I just like where our running back and our receiver room, again, it's going to come down to this offensive line is going to have to get it together. That's what all this is going to come down to. That's what all this hinges about. We can make all these points and say this guy's picking it up, that guy's picking it up, but it comes down to what our line is going to be able to do. Shout out to Rhino Sith. He says, happy birthday, Fake Spike 94. Go Fins. Appreciate you, Rhino Sith. Appreciate you a ton, my homie. Rhino, are you? I thought you were leaving the country, bro. All right, guys. Like I said, this is what's going to go down tomorrow. I'm going to have a very special little episode dropping for you guys, and then on Tuesday I'm going to be back with a panel show for you guys. And then Wednesday and Thursday we're into joint practices. Craig Bryant, can I get a shout out for the birthday girl Ella, 5 years old and already a Dolphins fan? Shout out to Ella. Shout out to you, Craig Bryant. Shout out to Ella. That's the name of my youngest daughter, who's a year and a half. So shout out to Ella's everywhere. Appreciate you, Craig. Thanks. And I hope Ella has a fantastic birthday. Spoiler, man. The wife always, gives me ish because we spoil our kids. And, they have so much more toys and they know what to do with. They have more toys than any of us had growing up. But you know what? That's the beauty thing about it, man. We can give the kids stuff we didn't have growing up. So tell her happy birthday, and I hope she has a fantastic happy birthday to Fake Spike, and happy birthday to Ella. Happy birthday to Ella. Happy birthday to Fake Spike. Enjoy your days, everyone. All right, guys, be on the lookout. I'm going to drop a video tomorrow in the day. I might come back live tomorrow night. I haven't decided yet, so you might get 2 videos, but I will be back with a panel on Tuesday, so be on the lookout. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you. You already know what time it is. Fins up all day, every